Aw, crap. It's Saturday. I don't have any friggin' idea what to do for a show today. Oh my god. Wait a minute. I got an idea. Wait, no, I lost it. I got it again. I lost it. I got it again. That's right. Random wrestling thoughts with me, Dead on Dave. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. I'm genius. Or I am a genius. Let's go.
Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tonka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? It is your boy, Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. And that's right. It's random wrestling thoughts with Dead on Dave. I got a lot of things jumbled up in the old noggin today. So I thought it'd be fun to come on here, shoot the shit, and just basically empty my brain matter for all of you guys to pick apart. Now, not all of these things are going to be popular, but it's just what's going on in my brain right at this second. So strap it in, strap it on, and let's have some fun and get into my random wrestling thoughts. Here we go. Well, let's start with this little bombshell. It's true. I'm not a huge fan of Lucha Underground. And surprise here, I wasn't that big of a fan of ECW. I just don't care for spot-filled violent spectacles just for the sake of being a spot-filled violent spectacle. Maybe I'm being unfair to both, but it's just the way that I feel. Plus, the backstage storylines, they're the worst I've ever seen in wrestling for Lucha Underground. It's the worst I've ever seen. The last thing we need right now is to further blur the lines in professional wrestling. A wrestler was actually murdered on camera this week on Lucha Underground. Look, I beat up WWE when they murdered Paul Bearer countless times. I beat up TNA when James Storm murdered Mickie James in her long way down fall onto those train tracks. And I'll do the fucking same for Lucha Underground. Beaten up. Boom. Since I'm loosely on Lucha, is it me or did Melina look kind of super thick but just as smoking hot as ever in her return to television? Holy God. Yes, I would like to eat fucking yogurt off of her stomach. Just saying. Please don't hear this, Johnny Mundo. I'd really like to have you on the show. You know, from NXT this week, Samoa Joe and Rhino was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting TNA 2000, 2007, 2008. I don't know why I said 2000, 2007, but that's because I'm basically a Mongoloid. But that match was a lot of fun, and it gave me renewed hope for Samoa Joe, not only in NXT, but in WWE as well. And I gotta say, I needed that, because I was getting worried. Okay, going back to Lucha Underground for just a moment. Mark my words, we're going to see a very similar situation in Lucha that we saw in ECW. I expect, and I'm not talking about them going under, even though I do think it's going to happen. I expect a few of their biggest names to be heading to NXT or WWE in the very near future. Especially if Season 2 of Lucha is not announced soon. Cage, Puma, Ricochet, Mundo, and maybe even Mil Muertes. I'm looking at you guys, man. You guys can go flat out. Welcome to the show, bitches. Well, right now, one of the hottest things in wrestling is the Divas Revolution, and for damn good reason. But am I the only one that is afraid that the use of that term is more important to WWE than the actual product of their work. Oh, WWE and your labels. How I loathe that. Speaking of the women's revolution, the Divas revolution, and by the way, time to drop Diva completely. It doesn't work. It's condescending. It's counterproductive. It's short-sighted. And that fucking title's disgustingly ugly. I'm glad Paige said something kind of on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast. But I digress. Back to what I was about to say. Speaking of the Divas revolution, Naomi is starting to be exposed in the ring. The more we see her in there with elite talent, the uglier it's getting. And I think that we're just seeing the beginning of it. I get that they're trying to give her every chance to shine. But here's something that WWE needs to realize, and all wrestling needs to realize this. Elite athleticism does not always equate to elite wrestling talent. Sasha Banks is the diamond of that group, and they need to capitalize it because honestly, so far, she's the afterthought of bad, and that is just, it's wrong. It's wrong. In fact, I don't know. I think that it might be one of the worst things that I've been seeing in a while. It grinds my gears. Yeah. I must admit, I lost interest in Ring of Honor a few years ago, and you guys know I don't talk about them very often here on this channel. I feel right now their history of what they used to be carries their name more than anything else in ring at the moment. Although, I will say that if Jay Lethal and Jay Briscoe does not get at least consideration for Wrestling Match of the Year, it is assuredly a travesty of Woody Allen proportions.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
Well put, Woody. You know, sometimes it's unfortunate, but I forget just how great Ric Flair truly was. Look, after his TNA debacle, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels took over the number 1 overall slot in my head. And maybe, that's, I don't know, in the words of the great Bobby Heenan and the late great Mr. Perfect, it's not fair to Flair.
Well, it's not fair. It's not fair for Flair. No, let's start a campaign. Not fair for Flair.
That's right, Bobby. Not fair for Flair. Man, with all my pausing and stopping and starting that I'm doing in this video, which I don't know if you could tell or not, it just reminds me how much I hate editing and wrestling. Don't have anything to follow it up with. I really just can't stand it. And if you're wondering why I'm doing it myself, well, it's called hypocrisy, kids. Look it up. Well, look, I don't know how else to say it, so I'm just going to say it. Looking back now, Goldberg's run may be the most overblown and overrated wrestling angle in history. How the fuck did we accept this shit? I mean, really. Look at the talent that we crucify every week right now. Roman Reigns, John Cena, and so many others. Think about this. Just the 2 names that I just mentioned, you're probably losing your friggin' minds right now that I said those 2 names with the word talent in the same sentence. But that's kind of my point. But there's so many others. But we really bought this whole who's next bullshit. Hook, line, and stinker. I just cut one. All right, I think it's time we all stand up and give Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, a very long overdue round of applause for just how great of a heel that friggin' guy was. Literally a top 5 to top 10 heel that's ever been, and he never gets mentioned. Now that's also a damn crime. Ugh. Look, going into SummerSlam, I think there's one match that stands out for me that's filled with just desperation. And I don't mean that in such a damning term as it might sound. But I really feel that for 4 characters, there is this air of desperation around them. And, of course, I'm talking about the two-thirds Shield versus two-thirds Wyatt family rehash feud. The WWE just really doesn't know what to do with any of these four guys. And all for really different reasons when you look at each individual. I really hope that those four just find a way to steal the show at SummerSlam. Because frick on a stick, do they need it. While I'm rolling here, I think I might as well go ahead and say this too. I'm coming to a lot of admissions here on this episode, but I got to let everybody know. I don't give a shit that Sting lost at WrestleMania. There, I said it. Oh my God, I feel so much better. He should have lost. It was done in a good way. It was entertaining as hell, and it's always nice when wrestling parallels wrestling history. Sting and the NWO were on the wrong side. Plain and simple, kids. No reason for him to go over Triple H in that match, and I have no problem with it, as long as Sting does get a victory at some point. Just my opinion. You know, it's kind of funny. Bret Hart, The Undertaker, The Beatles, Onions, Yogurt, and Jerry Seinfeld. They all have something in common. And it's the older that I get, the more I seem to appreciate them. It's crazy. It's crazy. All things that I thought were overrated or just plain bad at some point in my life, the older I'm getting, I'm starting to really dig all of them. It's just odd. Yes, onions are in that category. I hated onions for the longest time. Can't really explain it. My wife became like a chef. Man, that's another story altogether. She went from dishwasher to chef. Can you believe that shit? Not one lick of culinary expertise, and Lord knows I can't get her to cook fucking shit for me. But this woman became a chef at a restaurant, running it by herself, basically. And she started caramelizing onions for me. Holy shit. Changed my life. I can't have a piece of meat if there's not an onion on it. Holy fuck. It's crazy. Ugh. Rolling right along here, I think that it was straight out 100% gutless of Stone Cold Steve Austin to not openly address Roddy Piper's death publicly. Hell, you got the guy fired. At least offer a statement at this point. You won. He's dead. He's in the ground. It's over. At least offer a statement. Maybe he did and I missed it, but I certainly didn't see anything where he had an opportunity in that interview with Paige. Lord knows that interview went everywhere and nowhere at the same time. He could have said something at the beginning of it. No reason not to. Oh, it's going to hurt his image? Was the WWE going to look like assholes? No! They wouldn't have. You know why? Dirty little secret. That even though that he was about to be released from his Legends contract, when he died on July 30th, not the 31st, he was found on the 31st, kids. So don't correct me in the comments again, you bastages. When he was found on 30th, he was still under contract in the Legends deal to WWE. In fact, his Legends deal was not going to be expired and subsequently not renewed until July 31st. Interesting situation. Random thought here. I would love to snort a pixie stick off of Lana's ass. Once again, probably this is going to cost me a future interview somewhere down the line, but I'm just saying. I'd tell it to her if I thought it would work, but I don't want to gross her out. But pixie stick, her butt. No, that's a Friday night I can get my head around. And finally, I got one last thing. Here it is. And you guys might kill me for it. I'm actually looking forward to a long-term John Cena, Seth Rollins feud. Don't ask me why, and don't ask me how they should book it. I have no idea. For some reason, this shit is just getting me. I don't know. Maybe it's the broken nose. I have no idea. But I think it's bringing something out in Seth Rollins, and John Cena. This is the best version of John Cena that we've seen maybe ever. So you know what? Let's keep going with it. Well, there it is, kids. That's my random wrestling thoughts for today, Saturday, August 8th. It's 8/8/2015, and this was your random wrestling thoughts with me, Dead on Dave. If you want to support the channel, you can do so in a number of ways. You can go over to www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com and buy all the amazing merchandise that we have there, all designed by the one, the only, the great Isaac Rojas. You can get the Copious shirt, the Copious mug. You can drink from my face. There's so many things that you can get there. Go check it out. But if you want to support more directly, there's ways to do that as well. Easiest is just by hitting that like button. You could also go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're on a revolution. We're about to hit 1,100 subs. Holy shit. you can go ahead and be a part of that. The hottest, soon to be hottest. We're not the hottest yet, but soon to be. We are the hottest wrestling channel, the hottest sports channel, the hottest interview channel on YouTube, and everyone's gonna know the name of Dead on Dave, and you can say that you've been there since. How about that? So you can do that as well. Leave comments in there and tell me how stupid I am. You can do that as well. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot from this video. And finally, in kind of the most cool way of at least for me, is hitting the old tip jar link. That's right, I have a donations link up. It's just a tip jar. You can go right down into the description box, click on that link, and donate to your boy Dead on Dave. You can see the little ticker of all the people who have already donated, and I want to thank each and every single one of them. And don't be confused by the Joe Cronin Show $100 donation. That's actually not from him directly. It's from you guys, because he started a GoFundMe after I had a stroke about 2 months ago. And everybody, a minor stroke, kids, just minor stroke. And he went ahead and set that up without my knowledge, and people started donating. And in fact, I believe through donations that he was told outside of the GoFundMe and from the GoFundMe itself, people donated over $400 to help me offset some of the hospital bills that I accrued while I was being taken to the hospital. So, and just so you guys know, yes, I am a military retiree. I'm medically retired from the military, and I do have insurance. It's just really shitty. It's a terrible deal. It's called TRICARE Plus, and it sucks ass, because here's how it works. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I have to pay everything that I get medically done out of pocket. Once I pay it off 100%, then somewhere down the line, I will get a check for 75% of my medical bills minus the €250 mandatory deductible that comes with it. So I don't see much back hardly ever. Now, all that being said, whatever I get back, if it covers whatever it was donated to me for the stroke situation from the GoFundMe, I will donate to somebody else once I get reimbursed, because I feel that's the right thing to do. So thank you guys for all of that. I really do appreciate it. And you guys are awesome. So the Joe Cronin Show $100 donation, that's actually from all of you guys, and I love you for it. Thank you very much. Ed Crowley is the legitimate latest, biggest donator of $20. Holy God. See, look at that Brit. He goes and works a little bit, doesn't come on the show no more, but he throws me a little bit of cash. I'll take that trade any day. But thank you guys for joining me for Random Wrestling Thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was something fun I decided to do. And maybe I'll do it more often. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below, and you'll see more, or maybe you won't. Also, go ahead and check out Joe Cronin Show over at Joe Cronin Show on YouTube. It's crazy, it's wild, it's wacky, and you know what? It needs your support. Also, my boy Tommy C over at Shot from the Point. All your hockey news and needs, everything you could possibly want in the world of sports talk without all the bullshit. Go check out Tommy C, Shot from the Point, on YouTube. The most badass hockey podcast that you're going to find on YouTube. Other than that, I am Dead on Dave. This is Dead on Dave Productions, and you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share as always. If you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.